Hey, welcome once again to Colorado Conversations, our daily deep dive with the folks around Colorado who make it such a cool place to live. I'm Chris Parente, and if you don't know, I'm the morning anchor over on Channel 2 CW2. So if you're up early, I hope you'll wake up, take the remote, flip it to Channel 2 every morning, 4:30 to 9. We have a good time on that show. Different kind of morning show, a lot of humor, a lot of laughs, and of course more news than anybody else. Give us a try, for heaven's sake. CW2 Daybreak. And you might not think it by looking at me now, but back in the day, I was, quite the kid on the recess, out there on the playground at class. Yep. They used to play a game at recess called dodgeball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we know.
And I still have the welts from the kickball that would hit me on the side of the head.
Oh, no.
Truth is, I loved recess, and maybe you did too. Today we're going to go back in the Wayback Machine, talk about the value of recess, what kids remember of it, what kids benefit from it, and why we might need to mandate recess time at school. Lindsay and Yashnaya, I got it right?
You did.
Welcome to the show, ladies.
Thank you. Thanks
Show
for
them
having
your
us.
shirts. Show them what we got.
Yep.
What we're doing today is really talking about the power of recess and your effort, ladies, to make sure we have enough recess time in Colorado. Mm-hmm. Welcome.
Thank you.
I want to go back before we get into the law or the lack of laws mandating recess for kids. What recess meant to you as a child? Because I was a kid in the 70s, and it feels to me like we spent half our day outside when I was a kid. Is that right?
That is right. For me, recess was the highlight of the day. When you had friends, good friends who weren't in your classroom, that's when you got to see each other, to talk about what was going on in the school day and connect and work together and play. So we actually did not have much playground equipment. I went to a school where we had recess in a parking lot, and so we made up our own fun.
Yes.
We did have a jump rope, so we did a lot of double dutch jump rope and tag and singing songs and just making up our own fun.
Yeah, I think we had a lot of asphalt and a lot of parking lot in ours
Right.
too. And the thing of it is, we talk about recess as kids, what I remember about it anyway. Yes, there was the socializing, which is what kids are in school to learn a lot, how to socialize and team build and stuff like that. And also the benefits physically of getting out there and burning off energy, right?
Yeah, yeah. Lots of physical benefits as well. I think for me, when I think back to recess, both of my own recess and watching my children and their experience at recess, and as an educator, that it offers so many opportunities for kids to learn from other kids. I still remember the child who taught me how to tie my shoes. And my kids come home and they talk about new hand games and songs, and it's so interesting that certain generations have certain connections and ties. Like for my generation, it was those fortune tellers, or it was doing the cat's cradle with the ropes, and different games like that. And it's just the creativity that comes from that, and the connection and relationships, and how long-lasting they are.
I think people would be surprised to know, is there in Colorado a law, is there any minimum, do schools have to have recess?
Schools do not have to have recess in Colorado, which we were very surprised to find out too. And everyone we've talked to has been surprised about that.
Right, I'm surprised by it.
Yeah, being such an outdoorsy state, we clearly value, being outside, being active, and it's part of our culture. So what we do have is a physical activity law. Our law currently states that students must have 600 minutes of PE a month, physical activity, or physical education, and that can take shape in brain breaks, like during the classroom. It can be field trips with recess, or it can be recess too, but it doesn't mandate a daily recess minimum.
Right, so it kind of folds it in with PE class, phys ed, or whatever we used to call it back in the day. When it comes to no law, I suppose most schools do have some kind of recess. I'm married to a principal, and so I can only speak from my experience, but it does seem very these days regulated, and it's the same way with the whole class day, doesn't it? Like lunch now is like 20 minutes, you're in, you're out. Recess, all right, come on, line up, let's go. And you're in, you're out. It's oftentimes, what's the average time, do you know, for Colorado to have recess?
So we know that across the country, students on average get 22 minutes of recess a day. And in our state, we're actually collecting that research. So we have surveys in the field. We're surveying parents, educators, and administrators to see what's going on with recess at their schools, within districts, within schools. because as far as we know, no one else in the state is collecting that
They
data.
haven't bothered to collect the data yet. That's crazy
Not that
to
we
me.
found it. So
Right.
we're doing that, and what we've seen is wide disparity in the amount of recess that kids get. Some students, even kindergartners, get as little as 15 minutes a day. Other students, speaking in elementary school, get as much as an hour. I mean, that's on the far end. We'll say the scale seems to be more like 15 minutes to 45 minutes.
Right.
So
That surprised you?
Yeah, it is surprising. And when you mentioned earlier about the structure and the nature of school, we're not just saying yes to recess, we're saying yes to childhood, and we're saying yes to that unstructured time,
Right.
that play that is so essential for cognitive benefits, for social emotional learning, for flexible thinking, for creativity, all those essential skills that they need to develop as children that they have the right to have.
Right. I suppose part of the issue is it may not be as tangible short term. I know that a lot of our education systems become, okay, how do we get these kids ready for testing?
Yes.
It's all about
Yes.
largely test scores, preparing kids for the test scores, making sure the test, so on and so forth. And if you can't quantify recess as helping
right.
with the test scores, maybe then recess isn't as important. Is that what's happening?
that is right. Yes, I think administrators and educators are feeling a lot of pressure, top-down pressure to get these test scores where they need to be. In looking into the research, and as you know, the AAP, the American Academy of Pediatrics, just updated their stance on recess. And in that, they leaned into the neuropsychology, the benefits of recess. And we do have a child neuropsychologist on our team who we've heard speak a lot in meetings with lawmakers about this. She talks about how when kids learn and then they go outside and play, that's when those connections in the brain are really made,
Deepened.
long term, yes.
They call it a wakeful rest time.
Yeah.
So in order for children to learn, there's a big component of memory, and they need some time to process all the complex new learning that they're doing. And it's through recess that they have low demands, low pressure, and that their brain can
Right.
rest, recharge, engage in joy as they play games together, and then come back and be more attentive.
Yeah, well, it all makes sense to me. I have to wonder too, I read you sent a little press release earlier that back in my childhood in the 70s,
Yeah.
a third of the school day was recess. Is that true?
That's right. Yep. From the 1950s through the 70s, for American students, about 1/3 of the school day was recess. My parents were visiting just this past weekend, and my girls were asking my dad about recess time. And I heard him say, we had recess in the morning, at lunch,
Yes.
in the afternoon.
Right.
And their response was, whoa! Couldn't believe it. It's shifted a lot since then. In the 80s is really when it started to shift as we started to focus on academic achievement and these testing standards. And then in the early 2000s, with legislation like the No Child Left Behind Act, that's when recess really started to get chipped into,
Right, I imagine.
where we're now at the 22 minutes on average.
Yeah, and the thing of it is, like you said, on a maybe not a single academic year, our test score is going to be impacted, but like overall, this idea of that sort of release valve, getting out and exercising and sort of chilling, can deepen and make our kids overall smarter.
That's right. Yeah, recess benefits kids not just physically, emotionally, and socially, but also academically. They actually perform better on tests when they come back from recess after they're able to go out and play with their friends and recharge. And I think educators, too, do better in the classroom after they have a break as well.
Right.
So we're big champions for making sure that educators also have a recess of their own. They also need a break.
We used to call that the teacher's lounge.
That's right.
I have to. Well, I want to know too. We're gonna. By the way, you're both moms. You've brought your kids with you on, and we're gonna have them pop in and say hi in the next segment. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Kids, are you
Absolutely.
ready to be famous in about 4 minutes?
Get ready to be famous.
Look at that enthusiasm.
I know.
Let's make some noise, kids. That's good. That's good.
That's a start.
You have great kids, by the way.
Thank you.
I do want to know though, how you all. I mean, was this just a brainstorm of one of the two of you? Because you're moms.
We are.
You've now got this whole thing, say yes to recess. Was this like a national movement that you latched onto, or did you start it here in Colorado?
So it started very organically in that we were talking about recess amongst our friend group at school. And then we learned that there's also a national campaign working on recess legislation. So the Say Yes to Recess
Gotcha.
national group, it's a nationwide grassroots movement. It's a nonprofit, and it's a group of parents like us, educators, administrators, community members who are passionate about ensuring that students have daily access to a meaningful recess, meaning enough
So you were
recess.
able, as moms, to kind of get some resources to help fight the battle with the national group Say Yes to Recess. And was this the Colorado chapter? Is that how it's
We are.
working?
That's
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
yeah.
So the Colorado chapter is a group of 9 multidisciplinary moms that started the chapter. We've since then expanded. We have dads in the group, and several other parents and community members, which has been really fun to grow. And we dove into the research in the very beginning. We knew that recess was important through the experience of our own experience, our kids' experience, but we wanted to see what the research says. And so we dove in, each through our own professional lenses. We have a child neuropsychologist at Children's Hospital. We have a pediatrician at Denver Health, the community
Nice.
organizer,
You've got like a lot of intelligence behind
an
this.
exercise physiologist, yes.
Awesome.
So we have a well-rounded group. We all took our time diving into the research, and it's all very clear and conclusive.
Right. It's not really, at the end of the day, even debatable, is it?
The research isn't, and so let's do something about this.
I love it.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, several things. We're going to meet your kids, first of all, the real stars of the show.
That's
We're going to ask about what you want to be done, and who you're lobbying, and how people at home can get involved, and like where you'd like to see this go. And we're also, most importantly, going to break down the best playground games in American history. Stay tuned for it, all you Red Rover fans. Coming right back.
That's a good one.
Hey, welcome back to Colorado Conversation. Today it's all about recess, our memories of it, the joy of it, and believe it or not, why there is no law mandating a minimum amount of time. Lady, it's good to have you on the show, both of you.
Thank you.
You're just, at the end of the day, you're moms.
That's right.
That's what really got you interested in why we need to defend recess, protect it, right?
That's right.
So let's bring on the kids who made you moms. Come on in here, kids. Da 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 da. Right up in here.
Hi.
Okay, so raise your hand. Let's see, the 3 sisters, right? These are all your daughters?
These are mine, yes. These
And they're all 2 years apart from each other.
They are.
All right.
Yeah.
You want to give their names real quick? They're not mic'd up, so you have to raise your hand when she says your name.
Okay, we have Edie,
Edie,
Sophie,
Sophie,
and Isla.
and Isla. Thanks for coming on the show. And I imagine then these boys are yours.
They're mine. We have Finn
Finn,
and we have Lachlan.
Lachlan, good to see you both. All right, is everybody get in here, Lachlan, a little bit more. A quick show of hands as we've got the kids on here. Best playground game of all time. Who's going to say jump rope, double dutch, that kind of stuff? Nobody?
Okay.
What about kickball? Do we still play kickball? A little bit of kickball action up in there?
Lachlan?
We don't do Red Rover. I'm told Red Rover is not a thing anymore.
No.
What time is it, Mr. Fox? Yeah, okay. Red light, green light. Do we still do red light, green light? That's still
That's a
too?
fun one.
And then the one that really gave me the welts from my kickball, dodgeball. Do we do that anymore? That's probably too violent. We do! Oh, yeah! You didn't bring a kickball, did you? Good, 'cause I was never good at dodgeball. Kids, it's awesome to see you. And you're all wearing to Say Yes to Recess.
That's right.
We could go ahead and stand here. If you wouldn't mind staying for a little bit while I talk to your moms? You can stay? Good. Then
stay
go
for a
back.
minute.
They've been watching very politely over there. I do want to ask, this is the reason you're doing it, obviously for your
Yeah.
own kids and for everybody else's, what you would like to see done ultimately, because are you going to be lobbying state house legislators? Is there a proposed bill that's already in the works and maybe failed last time and you're going to bring it back? Has there ever been a law proposed at the Colorado State House? Where do things stand?
As far as we know, there's never been a recess law proposed in Colorado. So this will be the first. We do not yet have a bill drafted. We're in conversation with lawmakers, seeing who's interested in it, seeing what the temperature is for it. Also having a lot of conversations with nonprofit groups and different stakeholder groups. So right now we're really in the research phase where we're reaching out to all of the
Right.
groups. We want everyone to have a seat at the table because the state has a lot of differences in different parts of the state, in the city and further out from there. And so we want to make sure that we have a recess law that everyone can feel good about.
I do wonder about that because obviously we're early on. When did you guys get together and do this?
Gosh, I think we started having conversations around January, so
So it's
it hasn't
fresh.
been that
Yeah.
long. But we have had amazing momentum, and it's been such a wonderful opportunity to reach out to community and have conversations about recess and connect. There's so much incredible work happening in Colorado.
I'm really impressed. Since January, here you are now, and
Yeah.
you're still in the early stages. I do wonder, again, being married to an administrator, my dad was a principal for 30 years too. What your reaction has been when you talk to teachers and principals, because I imagine all of them theoretically think, yeah, we
Yeah.
love recess, but we don't have time on the day. We've got to get to the testing, and they've got to get their language and this and that and their math, and the day is already so planned out, we just don't have time. Is that what you're hearing from teachers
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah, that is one of the hurdles that we're up against. We have spoken to some administrators and schools that are able and have the resources and have carved out schedules that do work so that they have consistent recess time. But what we're finding is that what's happening through having schools have the autonomy with that recess time is that it becomes inequitable, and it's really dependent on what zip code you go to, or even with one school, it can have different recess times depending on what class you're in.
Right.
So we really want children to know that they can have that consistent amount of time that is so important for their development.
It's so interesting because like a lot of money is on the line with the test scores and how much
Yeah.
and like how much money is going to be given based on it. So to be able to convince folks that recess is important too. Now I told you that we'd go fast. We're already dwindling on time. I do want to know, I'm a pretty good guesser of grades.
Okay.
Because I've had 4 nieces and nephews and 4 grandnieces and 4 grandnephews. I'm going to say, now don't take offense if I get it wrong. I'm going to say, young lady, you are in the 3rd grade.
Oh,
Is that right?
No.
Okay, fine. You are in the 2nd grade.
No.
You are in the 1st grade. Yay!
Got it.
Well, that's easy. If you're in the 1st grade, then you got to be 4th. No?
Nope.
Not 3rd. Is she 3rd?
Third. She's third.
Okay, that's right. They're 2 years apart.
Yep.
So then you're a 5th grader.
Yep.
Nailed
That's
it.
right. You got it.
Boys, 3rd grade.
yeah.
That's
We're
right.
in class together.
Yeah.
You guys you're the same age?
These two are in class
those-
together.
These
Sophie
two.
and Finn.
You're in the 5th. Bingo.
Well, just graduating up to 6.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we got a
dang,
middle
Daniel.
schooler.
6th grader in the house. Well, you can see I was
That's right.
miserable. What was my percentage? 20%?
That's pretty good.
It's not that good.
Yeah.
Not that good.
Yeah.
Thank you, kids. You may go be dismissed to your seats. Well done. You should be proud of the great kids.
They're great. Thank you.
I basically guessed all the years and eventually got it right.
You did get it.
Now,
You got it.
in what little time we have, I'm going to take a quick break, come back, and then we're going to advocate to what you'd like people at home to do
Yeah,
to help you out. Is that
sounds
cool?
good.
So stick around. We're going to come right back, and we'll talk about favorite teacher too. Should we do that? Stick around. Well, I knew the hour to go fast, and it surely has. And above all else, I hope it's maybe inspired in you a chance to daydream about what it was like, or recollect about your own childhood and what those days of recess. I remember we had the jump ropes that had the little plastic beads on them. Do you know what I'm talking about? And so they'd make that clacking sound with the double
Yes.
dutch. Jump rope. And do they still have the scooters now? They were like squares that had 4 wheels on
so
the
you can get
bottom.
on your
Oh, yeah.
belly.
Yeah.
You sit on your
Yes,
belly and
That's
do it.
right.
Those are
Yep.
great.
Those were
Still got
fun.
those?
I
Yeah.
don't know if they have them.
I don't know. Do they?
They should.
You got
Oh, they
it.
do.
The kids say
Yes,
yes, they
they're
still got
saying
them.
yes.
This is good. What I want you to tell folks at home now is if you're a mom or a dad, or you're just a citizen out there, or a grandma or grandpa that would like to get involved to support this idea, is it too early to support? What can people at home do?
Yeah.
It's not too early to support. We would love all of the support we can get. Like we said, we're here in Denver, and we're trying to connect with everyone across the state. And so there's a few things. If you're a social media person, we do have a Facebook and Instagram page, Say Yes to Recess Colorado.
That's easy.
That's
Say
easy.
yes. Show them again.
Yep.
Say yes to recess.
Colorado.
Yeah.
Yes, you'll
Okay.
find us there. We also have a community recess event coming up. Thursday, September 3rd from 4 to 7. We'd love to have you there, Chris.
Hey, is there going to be Red Rover?
We could get a
we
game
could
We could
going.
get a game going?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
All right.
It'll be in Central Park.
Oh, great.
Food trucks, face painting, playing.
That's awesome. And
Yes.
that will be, we can find the information for that on your
Throughout,
Facebook and
That's right.
Instagram.
That's
Do you
right.
also have just a flat out website?
We do.
Yes.
again, say yes to recess. Once you go there, you can go to the state chapter pages and you can find us.
Gotcha.
Colorado.
Yeah.
You are still early in the game. I imagine your ultimate hope then is to get a law passed that does what? What would you want the law to be? Do you know yet?
Essentially, we want the law to protect recess time. So we want every child to be able to have recess and count on it every single day. We're still in that research phase, and another way that we would love to connect is we have surveys, as Lindsay mentioned, out in the field for educators, parents, administrators. Just the more that we hear from people, the more that we'll understand what the landscape looks like in Colorado and how best to reflect that in the way that we have this protection for children.
Well, do you think it would look like not just that every school must have resource, but that recess, but that it also must be at least, what, 30 minutes, 45 minutes? You want a minimum, yeah?
We would like guardrails around the recess time. So yes, 30, what most states have passed, and there are 15 states that have passed a recess law across the country. We're hoping we'll be the 16th. And most states have passed 30 to 40 minute recess minimum.
Even that seems like bare minimum.
Yes.
Yeah.
Be a good place to start though, huh?
It
The
would be.
AAP does recommend 60 minutes of physical activity a day per children. Only 1 in 4 are getting that 60 minutes. So thinking about how that can be included in the school day when school is 7 hours a day would be essential to bring that research in.
I'm just so impressed with both of you because it's a matter of, you aren't lifetime lobbyists, you aren't political insiders, you're just moms who want to make a difference, and you're such a positive approach. You're not bitter or angry. You want to make a change and you're doing it. I'm really proud of both of you.
I
So again,
appreciate that.
say yes to recess.com.
That's right.
Is it .com or .org?
.org.
I think we were talking about
.org.
Oh my gosh.
It's probably .org.
It's probably
Yeah.
.org.
Say yes
I
to
think
recess.
so.
Google that.
Yeah.
Get to the Colorado chapter and reach out to these ladies. Let's get the program even bigger. I'm out of time. I warned you.
That went
Thank you
fast.
It
so
went
much.
fast.
Thank you. This
You and
was
me,
fun.
double dutch in the parking
Let's
lot.
do it.
We'll get
Yeah.
it done. Meantime, I'll also see you all come tomorrow morning at 4:30 on Channel 2 Daybreak. Have a good one, and here's to recess.